Now my trainees, this is day 22. This is the final full body session of the program. You see, next week we have a different setup. We have the test on the Sunday, so I opted to remove the full body program instead in order to make sure that everything is good. And yeah, you're still getting some full body benefits when we do the flexibility day, and that's for all levels. But yeah, I've had to remove that. So this is your final full body session. And since we had such a good response with the circuits, you're all doing circuits today. That's right, level 1, level 2, level 3, you're all doing circuits. And yeah, I hope you're gonna love it. I've set it up pretty well, and I'm pretty happy about this. So yeah, all right. Make sure that you are fully warmed up. Make sure you've got your water and get everything ready. Let's go. Let's do this. My level 1s, this is a nice simple circuit. Perform the first exercise, then go straight into the next exercise until you've completed the playlist. Rest for 2 to 3 minutes total, and then repeat the playlist. There are 5 moves. The standard squat starts us off, and we'll have practiced this one a lot recently, so just work hard on knee and foot placement, as well as keeping your back neutral or straight for yourself. Then we have overhead press. Brace your core, press in hard on the ring, keeping the arms out slightly. Next is an aerobic break with side step. Now if you can't match the rhythm, that is fine, just do your best. If you need work on silent mode, swap this one out for a jogging area like beginner, because side step can be pretty noisy sometimes. Next we go into the warrior one pose, which is a great move with the static legs and side bend as well. Bend to within your range of motion and move your body up through your core, not through your shoulders. And then we finish with leg raise, a great move that has you move up through the hips and core. Hold and then lower slowly. You don't have to have your body propped up as Tip does. If you want to have your body on the ground, go for it, because you're still able to move through the right range of motion with your legs there. Now once you are done, have a rest, 2 to 3 minutes, and repeat the playlist. Do this playlist a minimum of 3 times through those 5 exercises. So you see I've got the playlist set up with 2 lots of those exercises, so you do at least 1.5 times through the playlist. Go up to 6 times through, or 3 times through the entire playlist, if you're confident you can handle the reps, okay? Level 2s, this is your circuit for full body day. You know the drill, perform all the exercises with as little rest as possible, then take 2 to 3 minutes full rest at the end and smash out another round of those exercises. Hip lift kicks off the work, firing up your glutes and hips, and get some good work on the hamstrings as well. We then get back up onto our feet and drop for the wide squat. Keep your back straight and your core braced in order to maintain a very good posture for this one. We then have back press, a move which is great for posture. It's working your upper back muscles, and it combos well with the next move, which is front press. There's a cue that Ring gives for this one, which is to pretend you have like a tennis ball in your armpit, and it's actually a really solid cue. It really helps get you to protract your shoulders and your scapula to get the ring in the right position so that you're hitting your pectorals as best as possible. Next, it's aerobic time, it's ring raise combo. This one combines half squats with the ring raise and gets the full body working. Try to match the rhythm, but if you're not able to, don't worry. Then take to the floor for the excellent combo of seated ring raise and Russian twist. You keep your body in the same position, but you're using a different arm movement in a different plane. You have high reps, good speed with control, and it hits your rectus abdominis and obliques on each one. Once you've smashed this, rest up for 2 to 3 minutes and get through to another round. We're going for 3 rounds minimum and go up to 6 rounds maximum. Smash it, level 2s, smash it. My level 3s, this is your full body circuit. We're throwing in a mini game, as you can see, but it all makes sense when you get there. Go through all the exercises, rest 2 to 3 minutes and repeat. Start with the hip lift movement. This is great for priming your glutes and working your hips, especially since move 2 is the overhead squat. A great movement for both the core and your legs. Make sure you are bracing your abs to maintain that good posture with keeping the ring up and, keep it upright and keep your upper body static as best as possible. Next is the mini game. We're doing Crate Crasher on advanced. You see, this game involves a heap of rapid presses with the ring, which will get the forearms and chest working very hard. You're going to feel the lactic acid burn here, so breathe deep to help remove it quicker. Back press is your next move, which works as a balance to the chest work from the Crate Crasher game. Back press is great for hitting the rhomboids and traps, good for your rounded shoulders if you've got them as well, good for strengthening that upper back. Next is knee lift combo for a dynamic aerobic movement that lets you shake out the body, and it uses a small little jump as well. Fun way of doing the cardio section. Now for something completely different, get into your lunge position and twist for the overhead lunge twist. Move from the core and not the hips with this movement. We then have 2 movements for your abs to work, which kind of work opposite each other. You've got the leg raise and the leg scissors. So to make this one easier, if you want, you can drop your upper back to the floor because the movement comes from your abs and hips and the range of movement isn't restricted. Leg raise goes up and down with hip flexion, whereas the leg scissors uses abduction and adduction to move quickly. Now you've hit all your major areas, rest for 2 to 3 minutes and fire out another 2 rounds minimum, go up to 3 rounds in total. Great sessions, guys. I know how hard these 4 sessions can be, so just well done on pushing it out and smashing that. Hopefully you're feeling good, and yeah, let's get into today's Fit Fact. Let's talk about something kind of cool. We're going to talk about energy production, i.e. aerobic respiration versus anaerobic respiration. The body creates energy for us to use to fuel our muscles, and there are a couple of ways that the body will do that depending on what energy level is needed for that activity. The body can create this using aerobic respiration, i.e. a glucose burning process that uses oxygen as a fuel source, as a catalyst to break it down. Now it breaks it up into a number of products, the main ones being carbon dioxide, H2O, and ATP, adenosine triphosphate. Now ATP is the fuel source that our muscles use to move and to get their energy. Now aerobic respiration produces the ATP at a slower rate. It's not a huge amount of energy, it's not the most effective way of doing it, but it can be sustained for long periods of time. So that is why we do it during endurance events, ones with a lower heart rate, because we don't need as much energy to make it. Okay, now there are going to be movements that you will be able to sustain at a higher energy level, but not for a very long time, like around 2 to 3 minutes. Now for this one, the body creates ATP using glucose again, but it's using something different. It's using a different chemical to break down the glucose. So it is anaerobic respiration rather than aerobic respiration, because it's not using the oxygen as the main catalyst. This burns the glucose faster, allows for more energy output, but it creates some other byproducts. The most well-known one being lactic acid, which I mentioned earlier, which is where you get that burning sensation in your muscles. That's the lactic acid. So when you hear people say feel the burn, they're meaning anaerobic respiration. Okay, that's what it is. That's what it is. And by breathing in, by getting oxygen, you can use oxygen to break down the lactic acid to remove it as well, which is kind of cool. A higher heart rate makes you flush it out a little bit better as well. So yeah, that's why you do a little bit of cardio with your cool down as well. Fun fact. For the super high energy ones, i.e. the super intense sprints or your powerlifting where you've got to do everything in like 10 seconds, you have the phosphocreatine system. What this essentially does, so you've got the ATP, the adenosine triphosphate, and it uses one of those phosphate molecules as the fuel. Now this makes ADP, which is not able to be used as a fuel source and then needs to be recombined with another phosphate thing to become adenosine triphosphate. Now this system produces massive amounts of energy, but it can only sustain it for like 10 seconds, so that's why it's used for sprinting and stuff. You're not really going to be using that for Ring Fit, so don't worry about that, but it's just really cool to know anyway. It takes about 2 to 3 minutes to actually recover fully, to recombine those ADP into ATP, which is quite interesting if you think about it, because that's why when you're doing strength movements, you rest for 2 to 3 minutes after, because you'll have used this massive amount of energy and you need to recover those systems. Lots of facts for you. So yeah, that's today's Fit Fact for you, which is kind of cool. I really enjoy talking about that. I'm not very good at pronouncing stuff very well, like the adenosine triphosphate. I kept messing that up. You have no idea how many outtakes there are of that. Anyway, point is, have a really good rest of your day. I hope you are nice and relaxed this evening or this morning or whatever it is for you doing for the rest of your day. And I'm going to see you tomorrow for a massive ab session.